I went down on my knees. My cameraman went from the left. My soundman went from the right. And they piss on my face. Really? Yeah, they piss on my face. And if you would have a stupid question if I had closed my mouth, yes, I had. And he went on his knees and said, Jakub, problem. And I said, what? I didn't record it. And I was like, Ferda. What a stupid joke, you know. It's not the moment. Look at me. And he said, yeah, but I really didn't film it. Really? Believe me, in that moment, I would take a stone and hit him as hard as I could.
We would like to thank everybody who supports this podcast.
Welcome to Shit Happens number 4. Yeah.
So, what are your questions this time?
Jakub, we was in the last episode talking about Siberia, and you talking to me about your pike fishing over there. And I feel that there's a lot of stuff you can talk more in detail about this trip. You get a smile already. So yeah, let's go into it. Like,
how many liters of vodka or
yeah, something like this. Now, maybe the first question, like, how you do you like the country?
I love the country.
You love the country.
Yeah, Russia is, as I said last time, it's one of the most beautiful country with great people. As I said, you have always, good people and bad people, but the density of good people in Russia is really good, really nice people, and the nature is stunning. Really, you have places there when you just think, wow, how is it possible that something so beautiful does exist?
Okay, because I thought, to be honest, because Russia is so big that maybe Siberia is like a own country, or maybe a bit different to the other side of the country that maybe most of us know from Russia. So maybe you visit both, so maybe you have an opinion about it.
Look, the problem is when normal guys say Russia, it means Moscow.
Yeah.
But Moscow is not Russia. It's a town. It's like a state in a state.
Okay.
It's crazy, in Moscow you have the highest density of millionaires in the world, in US dollars. It's crazy, but for me, of course, it's Russia. It's part of Russia. It's the main city, but there is so much more, For example, even in the past, just in the fishing industry, try to imagine that in one part of Russia you have fishing magazine or fishing shops, and on the other side of Russia they have no clue about existence of this fishing magazine or fishing shops, that it's so far from each other, so many different dialects, so many different cultures, tribes. In Russia, in Siberia, you have really wild tribes like Komi or Mansi. They are kind of still real life Indians. Kind of Indians. They are not Indians, but I need to describe it somehow. But incredible people which are living with reindeers, and they are living completely in the wilderness.
It sounds that you already meet them.
Yes. I met several of them, really small tribes, and great stories because you visit. They are living in teepees,
Okay.
like Indians. And around the teepee, you have the how you call it, skin from the animals, from the reindeers. And when I walk inside for the first time, there were like 3 guys, 1 kid, and 2 women. And I have seen hundreds of reindeers around them. So I was thinking, how many people are living here, taking care for so many animals. So I thought there will be plenty. There will be like many more behind the forest. And so I've asked the guy, it was Brigadier Grisha. Grisha was his name. How many people are living here? And he said 3. So I didn't get it because, as I said, I saw 3 guys, 2 women, and 1 kid. So I asked, how many people totally live here? And he said 3. And I didn't want to be unpolite, so I didn't ask it again. But later I got it, When I talk about people, for him it was only men. So 3 men, 3 people. Now the women and the kid didn't count.
Okay, that's weird.
It's weird, but it wasn't that like women wouldn't have respect. Not at all. But for them, people, only men.
Do you know why?
It's the culture. If you go to Muslim countries, the men will never give hand to a woman, for example. Yeah. So it's just differences in life, differences in way of life, differences in culture, in traditions, in religion. Religion is a big thing everywhere, So that was super cool meeting with these people, because the women there they give birth in -45. You see small kids like 2-3 years walking -40, nearly 50 alone around their teepees. And if you would have temperatures like this here or in Germany, people would be completely in panic and
never leave the kid alone.
Exactly. And the childhoods, they're very short, and when they are like 8, 10, they are adults basically. They can hunt wolves. And
did they go fishing?
These tribes, not much. They are more hunters. They hunt animals. But there are other people, river people, which do fishing. It's always same as well. Everywhere around the world, you have hunters and you have fishermen. Or I would better say water people and forest people. And the forest people, they don't fish much. They collect. They do agriculture as well, or they do hunt. And river people, they are mainly fishermen.
What are you? Something between.
Probably. Probably something between. Not this, not that.
Okay, great. So, because I never visit Russia, I never visit something cold like this. So I sleep one time in an igloo in Switzerland, -20 degrees, and it was definitely too much for me. So I can't.
Did you piss in the bottle as well?
No.
What a shame.
But how was it for you after 5 weeks coming back home, going to a warm bed? Like for me, it would be like the best feeling ever, coming home, making a hot shower, and
it's always same. You're coming back home. You take hot shower, hot bath. You feel you're like in a paradise. Then you go on the couch or with your family or with nice girlfriend after 5 weeks, you enjoy good time. And then in 2 days you would go again.
That's true. Okay, nice, great, okay. Nice. Last time you was talking about like the really extreme and also iconic ice fishing over there. Is there something which you learn maybe there about, for example, with ice fishing, which is
crazy? It's a good question, because the knowledge of people there, it's really insane, For example, I've met there people which really live in the wilderness completely, out of civilization. And one guy, he had old Soviet hat. You could see he was in an army, for a long, long time. I don't know if he was hiding in the forest or, it was a little bit strange, but he had incredible knowledge about nature, hunting and fishing. And he was fishing with nets under the ice,
Okay, how?
Which are like 150, 200 meters long. And when he told me that he's fishing with these long nets under the ice, so I was like, how is he able to pull the net under the ice, which is minimum 1.5 meter, crazy. And then he showed it to me. He took me ice fishing. He showed me a lot of cool stuff. And we were as well making tea from different plants from the trees. It was super cool. He said, oh, this is this tree, this is that tree, this is this tree. We call it this, and we make a tea. And this is like tea, like antibiotic tea. This is like tea which is good for livers. Incredible knowledge, incredible knowledge. And then
one question: is there still something on the tree on these temperatures?
Yeah. You have
because I think there's everything in ice and nothing.
For example, he was cooking tea from bark of the tree, from this bark, that bark, or he took some herbs under the snow as well. So
that's quite cool.
Super cool.
This is cool.
And then we went ice fishing and tried to imagine like a long ski, something between ski and snowboard. Yeah. And very strange device. He put a beginning of the net behind the ski and he sent it under the ice. And with the movement and flow of the water and with shape of it, the device was pulling the net under the ice, and there was a lot of snow on the ice, so he couldn't see it. But he was so good that he was able to take part of the snow away and look where it is. He was so precise, and like this, he was able to pull all the net 150, 200 meters under the ice, and then make a hole on the other side, pull the device out, and it wasn't finished. Then he told me, okay, now we need to take a special snow and put it on the water so it doesn't get frozen. And then I was, special snow, special snow. You have minus 45 degrees here tonight. And he said, you will see. So he went into the forest, brought a special snow. I thought he's completely crazy. He took the snow and was doing like this. A little bit here, a little bit there, a little bit there. And next morning, we went there and he crashed the ice with his boots. Don't ask me. Crazy. Different snow. And then he pulled all the pike and perch from under the ice. Crazy. Yeah. And then we went to his wooden cabin, and he had 2 wooden cabins. One where he was living, and second wooden cabin was in front of it on a pillars. And he said, and he was talking something about bears. And I asked him, why do you have the, and he opened this small cabin, and it was full of pike. Try to imagine that, like half room of this full of pike, frozen, like these candles, like all candles, all sizes, 50, 60, 70, 80 meter 10, that was kind of maximum what I could see, meter 10, some big ones, and full. And I asked him, you have this on the pillars because of bears? And he said, no, it's because of mouses. And it's for a bear. And I couldn't understand. And then he told me, mouses are eating my fish all the time. But it's good for bear, because bear can smell it. And I have this only from like 10 meters from my main window. So when bear is going to eat my pike, I shoot him from the window, and I have as well the bear's meat. And I was watching like this, and I couldn't believe it. And then he showed me he had another cabin, and he had 2 bears inside, completely only flesh, meat,
That's so smart.
Yeah.
It is so smart. Wow.
And he took me as well hunting for elks. These elk,
yeah,
these huge animals. and it was incredible. He shot elk completely in the wild, and it was a really dirty blood job. I have as well crazy pictures. I mean, these pictures you can't put on the social medias because you will get
banned.
like
Instant.
instant. It's like really you see these pictures. I can show you one day, and it looks like. Have you seen movie Predator? You know where the alien was putting the skin down out of the these people were on the trees. It looked exactly like this. And it was so raw, but again you could see so much knowledge in this guy. And then he took part of this, part of that, livers, and we were making it fresh on the fire. Then the fresh meat with a different part of the elk, and it was so delicious. I never ate anything good like that. And then, but he was really cool. He was taking only what he needed for his, friends, and he was the only guy who was taking care about, whole family and his friends. So he was the hunter and fisherman, and crazy knowledge, really crazy knowledge.
This is like, I never hear about like net fishing under the ice. Like,
yeah,
I would never come to the idea how it could work. Because it's so far away from me, or for most of us here over there, I think.
And what they do as well, when there you have a lot of smaller lagoons or smaller rivers, when the winter gets really bad, there is high risk that it will freeze completely to the bottom, and you have still some fish inside. So that was the most crazy fishing I've ever seen in my life. They took a motor chain. Still, kind of, they make a hole 1 meter time 1 meter. They left it for 20 minutes. 2 guys took a fishing net, kind of basic fishing net, and they always put the net into the water and made this move. And with every move, they throw out from the hole 2, 3 pike, 4 pike, 5 pike, 1 pike, 3 pike, 4 pike, 2 pike, 5 pike, 2 perch, 5 perch, 4 perch, 7 perch. And in 3 hours, it was pile which was maybe 150 centimeters long and 3 meters high, 3 meters long, full of fish. Full of fish. Never seen anything like this in my life.
Because they have no
oxygen, no oxygen, and they would die anyway. And the local people know where are these places for every winter. The fish are stuck there, kind of. So that's how they feed their villages. So they make hole like this, and
crazy.
But
this was in the winter time, right?
This was in winter time.
How is it over there in the summertime?
Eating alive by mosquitoes.
What?
Eating alive by mosquitoes.
Oh,
millions of mosquitoes.
But is it still cold?
No, it's beautiful. You have a long winter, very short spring. Spring, we are talking kind of about days.
Okay.
Yeah. And then you have summer, again, not short, but not long. And then you have short autumn and long winter. Okay. Winter is the kind of longest time of the year, but summer, very beautiful and very hot. You can have over 30 degrees in the summer and a lot of mosquitoes.
Okay. You ever visited in summer?
Yes.
Also, okay. Also for fishing?
As well for fishing.
How was it?
Beautiful, but as I said, a lot of mosquitoes. So many mosquitoes that I think you could get crazy. Seriously, you could get crazy.
And this is so you say after you visit 4.5 years of the Amazon?
Yeah, no, Siberia is worse. Worse than the Amazon rainforest with mosquitoes. There are several places which are worse, like Delta of Danube, for example, is worse. Kazakhstan, Ili Delta, in some moments it's really bad. And Siberia is definitely the worst place I've ever been with mosquitoes in the summer.
Okay.
A lot.
A lot. Okay, so yeah, that's a lot of stuff about really cold conditions, like really cold. And this was the coldest place you have ever visited, right?
Yes, the coldest day ever I had, that was when we were traveling with this armored tank. We were traveling to one of these nations, and it got broken on the way there. And that was with the guy Grisha. And we were trying to fix it. There were no tires, no wheels. There was the, I don't know how you call it, that chain, kind of.
Yeah.
So that's kind of the best for these conditions, and it got broken. We were trying to fix it for whole night. Like at 9, we had -45, and around the midnight we had already -47, working whole night to fix it, which was nearly impossible. And in the morning, when there was a first light, he was drinking already a lot of vodka, and he looked at me like this, and he said like "koniec," means like end or finished, or And I said, "Yeah, I know. It's we can go. It's fixed." And he said, "No, your nose is finished, kind of." After whole night, I wasn't sleeping. I was like, "What do you mean?" And he said, "Your nose is really bad frozen. You might lose it." And I got really, I got a little bit panicked. So I touched my nose, nothing. Touch harder, nothing. And then really hard, still nothing. And then you're in deep old shit.
Yeah.
So, and I was like, I seen myself like Michael Jackson, No TV anymore. And he was absolutely calm. He said, "Look, when this happened to us here, for example, with the finger, we take a needle, we go with a needle through the finger. If you don't feel it, just cut the finger, put a piece of, clothing around it, throw the finger, and you can go." And I was looking like him, he's making jokes out of me, and he was like shit serious. And my reaction was, "Yeah, but it's not a finger, it's my nose." And he wasn't really giving a shit. And then I had to go for my guys, because Dan, he was driving with the ambulance for many years, so kind of doctor, very experienced. When they saw me, they nearly fall down from the tank, because they were sleeping whole night behind the cabin. So I had to make a kind of a very special ambulance move, I would say. So I went down on my knees. My cameraman went from the left. My soundman went from the right, and they piss on my face. Yeah, they piss on my face. And if you would have a stupid question if I had closed my mouth, yes, I had. So can you just try to imagine that, like, you have one monster here, one monster here, which are not actually very nice and big in this moment. And it's like from both sides they are pissing on your face, and you are thinking just, Jesus, I'm so stupid what I'm doing here again. Like all pissing going down, But that's the only hot water what you can get and save your nose, So I always say that we know each other with my crew quite good.
Yeah, quite good.
So yeah, it was nice.
But
nice memories
still exist.
Yeah, it still exists, but even now after the Amazon, you see it's quite fucked up.
A bit, yeah.
Yeah, but I have to really take care about my nose now on the sun, because it takes only a little bit. I never use sun cream yet in my life. But now, after this, I have to always use very strong sun cream on my nose, because it got burned into the flesh immediately, basically.
Okay.
My nose is now super sensitive.
Okay. But you have...
I made it, yeah.
You have
I made it. It would be quite shit without the nose. But I have a picture out of it. I can show you a picture, or we can add this picture. Even
with the two guys or without, like? With the two guys or without?
No, without the two guys, but I have the face just before they piss on me, so you can see how my nose looked like just before.
Oh, okay. So this sounds like, and this all happens in these 5 weeks.
Yes, unfortunately, all this happened in these 5 weeks. So just try to imagine how many more stories I have from all the trips.
I understand. Okay, crazy. So, to be honest, I have not a really specific question, but is there something else what happened in these 5 weeks which you want to talk about?
That was kind of enough from.
Okay.
Maybe one day we can do a special podcast only about Russia and Siberia.
Okay.
And this is only Siberia. I've been on many other places in Russia, which are super cool as well.
Okay, so but there it wasn't so cold, or
yeah, it was nice cold or less cold or more hot.
How many times you visit Russia in total?
Quite a lot, but there as well very hot places, and hot places are fun as well.
Yeah, this is maybe the next good topic. So from the coldest place to the warmest place, like we was already talking about desert, but there was no fishing. So which was maybe the hottest in temperatures spot you ever fished?
Actually, I wasn't completely right because I fished desert. I fished actually the biggest desert lake in the world.
Which one is it?
Lake Turkana.
Okay.
Lake Turkana is on the border between Kenya and Ethiopia.
Okay.
Super beautiful lake. It's like you see this and you think you are in a different world,
But is it like, because in my mind now is a picture from a desert with a lake into it?
Yes, it's desert with volcanoes around.
Okay.
And between that is crystal clear, incredible lake, which is, I would say, it depends on the water level, between 250, 300 kilometers long.
Okay,
it's a big lake.
That's really big.
Very, very deep, and it's home of a giant Nile perch, the biggest perch in the world, perch species.
Ah, okay. And how was it?
My first trip, again, it's many, many years. Back then, it was quite dangerous to go there because you have two options: go there by car, and back then there were a lot of bandits on the roads, or you go by flight, very small plane, very small Cessnas. And let's put it like this: these pilots are not the best in the world, and actually, sometimes they are good, but the planes are horrible. I mean, these planes, they shouldn't fly for many years, and they are still flying, and they will be flying for next 20 years. So you see the plane, the plastic, the plastics are completely yellow. How new is the plane? You have sometimes cables from the desk out, and nothing is working inside, and it's like when you see this, it's like, Jesus, I will never ever sit into such a plane again. But you do always because you want to save the time. So on the journey there is quite unique adventure, and it's one of the, just before the Turkana, it's one of the most hottest places in the world. And Turkana itself is super warm, plus super, super windy. Like a wind 70, 80 kilometers in an hour, I would say it's on daily basis.
But it's a hot wind.
Hot wind and very, very dangerous lake. I went there, actually, we call it in my country kolebtalictva. That's how they call this, because they found the first ancestors of humans.
Okay.
Over there around the lake. The paleontology and archaeology is there very famous around there. It's the lake which has been discovered by Teleki, Hungarian explorer. And you have a lot of interesting tribes around, like Rendili, Samburu, Turkana, and El Molo. El Molo, one of the smallest tribe in the world, actually, one of the smallest tribe in Africa and in the world. I spend a lot of time with them. I have as well their tattoo myself.
Really?
Yeah, made by knife.
What?
Yeah. Tattoo made by knife.
Okay. Is it like is it? I know here like Maori tattoo. It's
similar.
similar to this. Okay.
Yeah. You in the past you had to go through this and then kill a crocodile or hippo by the spear.
You done it too?
Yes,
Which one?
crocodile. Crocodile after the tattoo.
You kill a crocodile with a spear.
At night, yes. Very serious experience.
It sounds like a serious experience. Like, okay,
I have even the teeth from the crocodile.
it sounds like a movie. You know, like the guy with the tattoo killed.
And yeah, it has been filmed as well.
It has been filmed.
Yeah, the tattoo has been filmed completely. It was in the village. I was lying. It's a kind of funny story because I was lying after 6 months I spent with him. I got a privilege to be one of them. I had a great friend, a great warrior, El Molo. I found him actually by a very famous picture in one of the African books when he's standing when he was young with a spear, and side by side he has huge Nile perch, huge, taller than him, and it was big guy. Yeah.
Okay.
So, and I was searching for this guy for many years. Where does this picture comes from? And that's why I went to Turkana. There were 2 reasons: because of this picture, and because Turkana is the only place in the world with golden Nile perch.
Okay. Golden
Nile perch. It's Nile perch, but golden color. There was
quite
one.
Carved.
If you want, super rare, and there was only one existing picture of golden Nile perch in the world. No more. One. Yeah. So super rare.
Yeah.
And so, which story do you want to hear first? The Nile perch or the knife story?
We start with the Nile perch. First the Nile perch.
Okay, so I would just make it very easy. I went there because of the golden Nile perch, and I said I have to spend there so much time to have even a slight chance to score this golden Nile perch. There's only one existing picture of this fish. And so I went there after 3 days of road by car. We have arrived. I had there my Zodiac. We put the engine on everything, and I said, okay, first day I will do only a small trolling. I want to look around the lake, and there was island. So I said I will go around the island. So set up my stuff, put a shot drop like a lure from Rapala behind my boat. 20 minutes of trolling, boom. Fighting, and suddenly I had the golden Nile perch on the boat.
Quite easy.
And my reaction was, what are these idiots doing here? I'm here not even half an hour and I have my golden Nile perch, which wasn't a monster. It was, I think, between 15 and 18 kilos. So I made it pictures, filmed it, released it, and since then I never seen any Nile perch again, even after I spent months there. Never again. Never seen any picture after that. Crazy.
There was your name on the fish.
Yes.
There was your name.
Really like this. It was even I was quite sad that it was so easy. Can you imagine dream like this? One existing picture of golden Nile perch. You go there and you catch this fish in 20 minutes on a 300 kilometers lake.
That's too easy.
Yeah, it's just like this. But that was fish for me. Yeah. So, and since then I've caught there hundreds, maybe thousands of Nile perch.
What was the biggest?
I think the biggest fish I caught there was up to 80 kilos Nile perch. I lost several bigger ones, but it's very difficult fishing with a lot of obstacles, a lot of sharp rocks under the surface. So the big ones, they know what to do. They cut your line very often because the first run is incredible. It's like unstoppable, and they go always deep, and one stone cut. Yeah. So some monsters. I had as well lures which were the treble hooks were ripped off of the lure like this, or the lure was broken into pieces. I mean, lure which you have no chance with human power to break it into pieces like this. Few seconds of the run and the lure in 2 pieces. So there were some monsters, definitely bigger than this, but still fish with between 30-60 kilo Nile perch. It's incredible, you know.
But
so beautiful.
If you now catch some of them, like, and remember the picture you have seen before from the tall guy with the giant Nile perch, what do you think? How big was that?
That fish was, I wouldn't be scared to say, close to 200 kilos. Yeah, and he speared it in shallow water at spring, and the fish nearly pulled him under the water. Actually pulled him under the water, but he managed to beat the beast. Yeah.
Okay, I think that's a nice step to come to your other story with the spear. Like, what's happening there?
So this, when they offer you something like this, it's not that you can't say no, but it's very unpolite, you know. And because they were my friends, and this guy was my friend. He died unfortunately a few years ago. We spent beautiful time together. Then it's kind of prestige, you know, and not everyone gets that. Until now, I think I've been there for the last few years, but before that, I'm the only white man tattooed like this, ritually tattooed. So I remember that night I was lying on the ground. There was fire. They were singing, they were dancing, and the old lady had something kind of very sharp in her hand. I wasn't asking how many people she cut with that subject before. You know, you can't think about many diseases which you can get like that, even with some very serious ones. And Ferda, my cameraman, which was there with me, I was lying there, he came to me and said, Jakub, I'm so nervous. What if I will not film it correct, you know? And I look at him and I said, you're completely stupid. You are not lying here on the ground. It's me who is lying here on the ground, and she will be cutting my belly. You just need to film it. So I'm so scared, you know, because we can't repeat that. So I said, of course we can't repeat. What do you think? So she started cutting the belly, and it really hurts. It's bleeding a lot from your belly. It's like 1.5 centimeter cuts, quite deep into not into your skin, but into your flesh as well. So it's opening, you know, and that leaves there the scars after. So cutting. It sounds like tinka tinka, but it's not stench. Cutting. And I was really sweating like hell, you know. And you can't scream. You can't show your weakness. Otherwise, you don't pass the test. So if you like, no, it's finished. So you have to be like bulletproof, you know. And that's not easy.
How long does it take?
It was quite long, I can tell you. I don't know how long, but it was long. It looks like a century when you are. It feels like a century when you are lying there. They are cutting your belly. So then it was finished. I was completely done, lying like this, you know, with close my eyes. I looked like this. I said, Jesus, what a stupid idea. And then this Ferda came again, and he went on his knees and said, Jakub, problem. And I said, what? I didn't record it. And I was like, Ferda, what a stupid joke, you know. It's not the moment. Look at me. And he said, yeah, but I really didn't film it. Really? Believe me, in that moment, I would take a stone and hit him as hard as I could. And he said, you know, I was so nervous that I recorded, but I forgot it. Then I recorded again, but I stopped the camera like this. I was like, fuck. So then I showed to the lady, start cutting me on the opposite side of my belly. And she was like, She couldn't believe that someone is so stupid. No, I don't know, so stupid or so brave or whatever. I don't speak their language. So she started cutting the other side. Again, sweating, bleeding, She was done. People left and I was still there looking like this on my belly. Jesus, now. And in your head, what I need to do now because of I need to disinfect it. I hope she disinfect the knife before that. Your brain is really working then. And after like 5 minutes, this fella came again. Here I was lying and he did. Don't worry, I have even for the first time. I just want to be sure we have it good. Really? Yeah. Bastard.
Bastard. Hey, but then you have 1.5 or what?
No, I have both sides.
Because of the joke.
Yeah, because of the joke. But I have to say, in the end, it's good. So I have it on both sides, and it doesn't look stupid that I can only on one side.
Okay. Wow. Just wow.
That was good experience, but still it wasn't the worst experience. The worst experience there was drinking of donkey blood. The local people, they have a bow and arrow. They shoot the donkey here. They take a wooden cup. They put it there. The blood is bleeding, dropping into the cup, and then you drink it. Yeah, and I was really dumb. I drank a lot. I was so sick. How,
like...
Why?
Yeah, why you drink so much?
It's part of the culture. I didn't want to be impolite,
Like, if you have 2 tattoos, you need to drink like double of the normal time.
I don't know, but I just did. It wasn't actually so bad. It's awful because it's hot and it's like the consistence of the blood. I don't know if you have ever chance to drink the blood.
Not yet.
Yeah, probably it's normal. Don't drink the blood, but don't drink donkey blood. I think I had some really bad parasites or whatever in me because I was really sick for a month.
Okay.
And on the same trip, in the end, I had my malaria as well.
Ah, okay. So there wasn't like a all-covered trip altogether.
That was when it was the trip with National Geographic when I was filming with them. The Fish Warrior series for National Geographic. All this happened on this.
But if I remember correctly, you told me that you stayed a half a year there?
No, with these people, not all but all together.
Ah, okay.
I spent on Turkana, I would say 7-8 months, and with these people like 6 months.
Okay.
So quite long as well.
Okay, this sounds like an amazing experience, to be honest.
And it is beautiful. It's their really beautiful, amazing lake. Great landscape. A pretty scary lake as well.
Scary lake?
Yeah. On one of our trips, we were 2 boats and one boat got lost and 12 people died on the trip. Local people. We were 2 boats. We were first. We were hit by a very big storm coming from 2 sides, and the second boat was only maybe 300-400 meters behind us. Our boat sank just before the shore, like 2 meters, was full of water and was slipping down to the deep. So we were a lot of guys, I don't remember how many. So we roped the boat to the shore, and some of us, my camera was completely naked back then. And we were really trying to save the boat as well. And it was then completely, you couldn't see. The storm was so huge. And we thought the second boat made it to the shore as well on different place, but they didn't. They were gone. Next morning, we were trying to find them, and boat gone, people gone, all gone. So these places are dangerous.
That sounds dangerous, yeah. I don't know what I should say. Like, I'm a bit losing the words now, but you're still doing stuff like this. You're still doing it. Like,
Yeah, you have to. It's, it's just...
I think here are three people in the room who don't give the same answer than you, to be honest. You know what I mean? Like, everybody's like, okay, you can stop. But it's more like, it's fascinating for me to see if you're talking, okay, your eyes have this fire into, like, in general, to do these trips, but you tell me so much shit, to be honest, which happens, where every normal person will think, okay, maybe there's one point where you say, okay, instead of going this country, maybe I go to, I don't know,
Gran Canaria.
Yeah, for example, Fuerteventura. Nah, you know what I mean? Make one level down, maybe, but is it a way for
Now with my family. Now with my family, I don't want to be so crazy anymore. I can be still crazy, but now I have a much bigger responsibility. That's why I am always saying, if you want to do these things, do it when you are young and dumb. And you won't make so many people sad if you don't come back. Of course, there will be people sad, but don't definitely do this when you have your own kid. So it's not that I don't want to do these things anymore, but I've done a lot in my life and I will be still doing crazy things. But believe me, before I jump on the crocodile now, I really think twice. Before I didn't think. I just jumped because it was fun.
Yeah.
And I enjoyed it. But now I know after so many years that there can be so many things can go wrong, which you can't predict as well,
Yeah.
So because better you are, more confident you are in these things, there is much higher risk that something can happen. Okay. That's for sure. Okay. That's why all the extreme people like climbers or divers, most of them when they die, it's very stupid death. They don't die on K2 or in deepest holes under the ocean. They always die in stupid swimming pool or climbing a small rock behind their house, because they forgot.
They're underrated.
Yes.
So like it's the secret, never get like the routine.
Yes, I think the routine is one of the most dangerous thing what is killing people which are doing extreme stuff.
This is an interesting thing, just like for people who are interested in this, like, because I think this is something which gets really fast, because we are humans, we want routines in general.
The people which are doing extreme stuff, they are, doesn't matter in which sport or what they are doing, they are so good at it because they are doing it for a long time. Of course, they don't want to die, but maybe they can make the decision or move much faster than the others. It's about making decisions and see that kind of gap, turn left or turn right much faster than the others. But on the other side, then comes something what looks very easy, and you don't think, and then it's only 20 meters what you need to fall, and it's over. You don't need to fall down from 2 kilometers.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Okay, so just to get it completely, the crocodile thing. How was it in this situation? Like, how came it to it? You get the tattoo, okay?
I've been with many tribes hunting different like crocodiles or caimans, for example, as well in the Amazon, crocodiles in Africa, caimans in the Amazon, because you have caimans, you have crocodiles, you have sea crocodiles, which are the most dangerous ones, and then many different ones, but these are kind of the main. And gavial, of course, the one with very long nose, which is eating fish, the longest of them. But caimans are really calm animals. You can catch them super easy. In the Amazon, you can even call them. It's and the sound is like this. And that's what when you do it, you get a sound of
them back.
Yeah, them back, and they are coming to you because they want to have a sex with you. And when they come to the canoe, they are a little bit disappointed that you are not the partner. So they can get really close and close and close. And now I've sent you as well some videos which you can then show to the people on our social medias, that we had huge caimans, really 1-2 meters from our canoes. And I'm talking huge caimans, like 4 or 5 meters, even bigger, because the place where I'm going, it's probably, I never seen big caiman like this. There are caimans over 6 meters. Even some people might not believe, but I know what I know. It's a very special place. And the small ones, like 1-2 meters, you can catch by night with your torch. You shine on them, you go very careful, and you grab them by the neck. But you need to be careful, because even caiman with 2 meters can badly harm you. Caiman over 3 meters, it's starting to be a different story, and you need to put full body on them. But in general, they don't want to attack you. You know, crocodiles, they are different. Their whole evolution was about killing. And if you go hunting crocodiles with a spear, it's I would say you feel death on your skin, because you're walking in the water, sometimes in like, I would say, up to your knees. So let's say 50, 60, 70 centimeters of the water. But if you think you are better than the crocodile, is the biggest mistake. I mean, whole evolution they spent was for one reason, for killing and even better killing. So if you go alone without local people, it's kind of suicide. And you never know how big crocodile you will meet. If is it like 1 meter, 2 meter, 3 meter, 4 meter. But on Lake Turkana, there are probably the biggest Nile crocodiles in the world, like tanks, yeah. And they do attack people over there. You have places where they don't attack many people, but they do attack because there is not much food anymore. You know, you don't have wild animals around, so they are eating dogs, and there are a lot of attacks on humans. Especially the local people, they have wooden boats made by like trees, chunk of trees, and they are on the top of it, and they get attacked like this. Or when they
in the boat.
No, it's kind of wooden platform. You know, it's not like a boat. It's like you have tree.
Okay.
Tied it together with ropes. They are sitting, and they have small pedal. And they use it like a boat to control their nets. And they got attacked many times when they are controlling their nets. As well, some smaller crocodiles get tangled into the net, and then they attack fishermen when they go to release them, or they attack the fishermen straight away when they are in the water. When you have attack from small crocodile, they get really badly bitten. Some of them survive, some of them not. But when the big crocodile attacks, they don't find the person.
They don't find them?
No, they don't find them. It's like with big shark, when really big shark attacks, they don't find you, you know. It's when they attack to eat, you know. It's when they attack to bite. It's
yes.
But when these attack for food, they don't find you, of course.
And you made it.
Yeah, we made it. But I have to say, I would never do it again. Especially now with family. These are the things what you don't have under control. You can do your best, but with these animals, you don't have it under control.
Everything can happen.
Yeah, every shit can happen. That's true. And you can see it as well with local people, because when you go fishing with them with nets, from the classic boat, the wooden boats, I remember one day we were like with 8 local people from age of, I don't know, 18, 20 until age of 70. And in one moment, the net got stuck on the bottom. And for them, the net is very important because that's how they make their living, you know, for their food. So someone had to jump into the water and try to get the net out. It was quite shallow, 2-3 meters, so no problem. So you would be expecting that a young guy, full of power, full of energy, strong, would jump inside and try to free the net. It wasn't like this. They nearly kicked down the oldest guy, which was around 70, and I didn't understand why. Because in our culture, we have the respect for the old guy. Yeah? And then they told me, no, if the old guy is eaten by crocodile, it's better than if the young guy is eaten by crocodile, because the young guy needs to help his family and needs to be taking care about, you know, animals and fishing and house and everything. But the old guy is over. It's way less value than the young guy. So if there's something like this, the old guys go down.
But if I understand something after our first episodes now, is it that's a different culture?
A different culture. For example, in the Amazon, every young man is dreaming about that one day he will be old. In this culture, it's opposite. The young guys are the more important ones.
This is crazy. This is crazy. But in general, like everything you talked to me in the last hour was completely crazy. Like,
yeah, just different word.
Yeah, but it's like these also like back to this Siberian thing next to this thing. It's like 2 complete different worlds, like completely different things. But if I hear to you, it's like if I understand what you're saying, it's like you're loving both really, really much, right? Like, so if you now would go back to one of these places, which one you would prefer?
Czech Republic. Really, Czech Republic. I think it's the most beautiful country in the world for me.
Between these two, well, we was talking about
like Siberia and
the hottest and the coldest
very
place.
Difficult. Very difficult. It's
if you now can go to the airport and grab.
If I must.
Yeah, of course you must.
Probably Africa. Still, it's deep, very deep in my heart. Africa, what's beautiful about Africa, you can't change it. It will, in general, it will stay very wild, you know, at least in my lifetime. And I like these very raw places where you are kind of not welcomed.
Okay.
Because if it's a classic touristic place, you have nothing more to discover. And these places I can do when I'm maybe old, if I will ever get old. But now it's the time when I'm still hungry for adventure and for discover I want to see as much as possible in my lifetime, because all these miracles, all these special places, these special cultures, all is disappearing because our world, our civilization, we don't like it. We would be happy if we speak with one language, if we are all eating hamburgers, if we are having all same God, if we have all same clothing. To be a special and to be a different is not trendy anymore. You know, people are scared of being special.
That's nice sentences. Like, that means a lot. These sentences. That means a lot. Okay. Great. So, I think, to be honest, we covered a good part of these 2 destinations. And yeah, is there something you want to add on it, to tell about these 2 countries, like the coldest and the warmest place you ever visit for fishing?
Just keep them wild.
Keep them wild.
Yeah, keep them wild. So
and keep the nose warm.
Yeah, keep them wild. So at least some future generations will have a chance to see same miracles like me. That would be awesome. I wish that my daughter will be able to see it. That's my next dream.
This is a nice last sentences. I think it's enough for this episode.
Thank you.
Great.
Before I think I'll stop.